Today working on the Gladiator. I've got a new bumper on here that has LED fog lights. This Jeep logo lights up in LED as well. So these are bright white. This came with the poverty spec halogen lights on it, and they are a little bit dimmer. I've also since added these turn signals that are also LED. So I've got LED, LED, halogen. Looks kind of weird. So I'll put pictures of what it looks like now, kind of superimposed over this video. I'm going to swap these out for the Z Offroad lights that I got off of Amazon. They got really good reviews. They're a 9-inch light, not the 7-inch lights with the adapters. So I think they're gonna look pretty cool, and let's get started. All right, let's get right into it. First thing I want to do is grab a trim tool of some sort, and we're going to pull out these tabs, like a 2-piece tab. So pull the center up, and then you should be able to get under the bottom of it, and it pops right back out. So here's what you're looking at. This is the mechanism that pushes in, and it makes that, more wide so it can't come out. So what you're really doing is just getting that centerpiece pulled out in order to make it more pliable in here, and then that should pull out. So there's 6 of these across the top here. I'm going to do that real quick, and then I'll join you right back. So with these all out of the way, what I'm going to do now is as you can see, the grill is loose. There's some clips down here. So for mine, I've got a quick release down here for my off-road flag. I'm gonna try to put something over that just so I don't pull this forward and end up scratching the paint on it. But what you're supposed to be able to do is just take and grip on either side of the bottom of it, and then just pull some clips out here, maybe. Yeah, there's a bunch of clips down here at the bottom that should just pull straight out. And set that aside. Now in my case, looks like a few of the metal clips might have stayed behind, so I'm going to pull those out, put them back on the grill, and then get ready to tackle these. This happens while you're doing it, just so you know. I just took a trim tool like this, got under the little wings on it on either side, and pulled out, and it comes out of that hole pretty easily. Then you drop it down into your skid plate. So let me go retrieve that. All right, now we've got 3 10mm bolts. So we're going to take those out. They like to be all the same size, so just set those aside. Now we pull the light out, and hopefully you can see this is the turn around, just like that right there. So what I'm going to do is just pull on that, and this pulls right out. Now we've removed the headlight, so we'll go get one of the new ones. All right, so on this side, we've got, this is the main light plug that goes here. And then this is going to be our DRLs, which are going to be our halos, and there's like a little light in the middle. I'll show you in a second. So this is got to be connected to the wiring harness that comes with this. So what you want to do is just make sure you have the right orientation. And it's helpful because there's a little notch in here. Don't know if you can see or not. There's a little notch in here, and then there's a little notch in here where this screws into. And you just want to make sure that the notches are lined up, which means that the right wires are touching as these pins connect. And then this just screws in there. So it makes kind of a nice, good connection, and it should be waterproof. What I'm going to do is then snake this just back here for now. We'll address that in a minute. On this wiring harness is a short and a long wire. The short wire is going to go to this because it's the closest to where we're at right now. This long one I'm going to snake across the top, and I'll show you that in a minute. So, but at this point, now what we want to do, take these connectors, line them up, hear the nice click, and then we just push this all back in, and everything should line up with the screw holes. Okay, so let me get those screws. We'll start putting those screws back in. It's kind of nice. There's a pin right up here. It's a pin right here. It's kind of nice, and it lines up perfectly with a pin right there. So you get the orientation lined up right. And then there's another one down here at the bottom. So let me get these screwed in. All right, so I've got this one in now. It's all solid. Didn't torque these down a lot. I just tightened them up to about where they were before. And this is the lead going over here. That's going to be powered to power these halos, and then this center strip here. And then here's the other one I was telling you about. This wire is going to go all the way across until it comes out over here. We're going to put this headlight in next. I'll connect these back. It's the same thing, and then I'll secure this so it's not flapping around and getting caught in anything. And then we'll join back for testing the headlights out first, take a look at them, and then I'll show you how I'm going to put the halos and wire those in. So most of actually the lights are working. Just tested them out. This one's in. This one's in as well. I've got all of the bolts tightened up. I've got the wire running for the DRLs, which are these halos, and then this piece in the middle. Got that running here under this. I've zip tied it to one of the other wires for the horns here, just to keep it up and out of the way. It's over here, and it comes out over here. So what we're going to do is put most of the front end back together again. We're going to have a working car again, have lights, and I'll show you that. And then we're going to get into how I'm going to wire it now, how I might wire it later, because it might be two different things. So let me get the grill back on again. It's going to be a reverse of what we did to take it off. I'm going to line it up with these tabs, these holes down here on the tabs of the grill. Push it in the bottom, a couple over here as well, and then it just put those 6 clips back in, or pegs back in, and then we'll have that back. So let me do that, join you back. I'll show you what it looks like with the halos, and then I'll show you how I'm going to wire it, or we'll talk through it. All right, so I'm going to try to get it where I don't blind you on this, but I'm going to go turn the lights on. I'll just probably turn the truck on so you can see what the headlights look like. I will then turn the brights on so you can see what those are, and then we'll preview what the halos are going to look like, and then we'll go to wire those. So all right, so here's the headlights on, and you can see the fog lights and the Jeep logo that is lit up white, and that's why I wanted to get LEDs and brighter lights on there. This is the brights. It's the regular lights. There's just the DRLs, and then nothing. So what I want to do, right now I'm going to wire the halos in with the Jeep logo that's lit up. And what that's going to do, a couple things. It'll allow it to make it a little bit easier. I've already got the wiring there when I did the Jeep logo on that bumper. So I'll get those wired in so it splices into that. It's going to allow me to also turn the halos on and off with a switch that I've got attached to that Jeep logo. I keep the switch on all the time anyway, so when the car comes on, it comes on just like DRLs. So it's going to end up being the same kind of functionality. However, this is just easier to do right now. Eventually, what I'd like to do is get them programmed into the DRLs so that they, if these are lit up, this will be lit up all the time, no matter what. So now for a little preview of what the halos are going to look like when they're on. I'm just going to hook a little 12-volt battery up to it so you can see. And that's what they look like. So that's what they're going to look like in DRL mode. I think that's pretty cool. But I will next just hook those into my existing wiring and we'll be done. So hopefully you guys like those. It's a pretty easy install. They're 9-inch headlights instead of the 7-inch with the brackets. So they fill out the hole a lot better in the grill. Looks pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with them. So let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what kind of lights you've replaced your poverty spec halogens with. I actually like the halogens. They look kind of cool, especially with that little Jeep logo or the Jeep, grill in there. That's kind of a cool touch. But at the end of the day, halogen everywhere except for those just looks kind of janky. So I'm swapping those out. So you see I got the halos working. They look really good. And they turn on and off with that Jeep logo. What I did, I chased the wiring that I did for the Jeep logo. Comes in here. It goes into the fuse box, hits a fuse that's switched, and then actually goes into the cabin over here through the firewall, and I've got another switch, so I can turn it off independently of everything else, but it's only got power when the car's on. That way I wouldn't be a dumbass and leave it on and drain batteries or anything. So what I ended up doing, chased that wiring down, spliced into it here. So this one goes to the switch, this one goes to the power, this one actually goes to the light that's red. So I spliced into that one. So it would be, again, the switch to power, and then grounded down here on a stud in the engine bay. So, all right, getting ready to solder it. I just wanted to show you guys what I did in case you were wondering. What they really want you to do in the instructions is they have this lead coming up with the ground and the hot wire, and they want you to do an add a fuse, and they actually give you one in the box, which is nice. I've already done that again for the Jeep logo, so I just wanted to kind of utilize the same thing instead of putting another add a fuse in here. And then while I was at it, I'm like, hey, why don't I just put it on the same switch that the Jeep logo is using? So that's the way I did mine. A little bit different, but it's the same concept. So hope you got something out of it. Again, they look pretty cool. Now I just need to go somewhere, measure out, and make sure that they're leveled up and not aiming too high so I don't have people getting blinded as they're driving towards me. All right, cool. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think.